Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for this is your August bonus reading, and we're gonna just jump right in here. You have this Treasure Island card and this Flexible card. The Treasure Island card is the As Above, So Below card in this deck, and so a lot of you could be in a time of like heightened manifestation or attraction, attracting things into your life. I feel like the Flexible card is just saying, be flexible in how you manifest or attract things into your life, and that will probably allow things to manifest much faster. So again, I would make sure to do that. I also think we're in a time of flexibility where, if one way to do something doesn't work, we simply just have to make a little change, and whatever we want, will probably manifest faster as long as we're, kind of staying flexible, and as long as we're also staying light on our feet. You can't make that up. I was literally going to say light on your feet, and you have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords, he is kind of like tiptoeing around, and I definitely got that feeling on that flexibility card, where it's like saying, as long as you stay, flexible and nimble, and you're able to make changes, then you're gonna have a really great time this month. I think if you're stuck, then you're gonna be stuck. You have the Eight of Cups. You also have the Nine of Swords as your crossing energy, and so it looks to me like you're walking away from something that no longer serves you, or walking away from something that's been repeating. Literally all four readings that I've done so far today have had the Nine of Swords. And so I don't know, it just sometimes I just think that sometimes a card is describing the collective energy, and maybe as a collective we are just walking away from things that just don't work, right? It's just that simple. It is Mercury retrograde. During retrogrades, we definitely can see what doesn't work and what is working, and we can walk away from the things that aren't working. And so again, like everybody else, I think you're probably just cutting out the crap and walking away from things that no longer serve you. The Nine of Swords is your crossing energy, and the crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross. And like I said, I feel like the Nine of Swords is just a repeat cycle. The story of the Nine of Swords is that he's had a nightmare, and he's woken up and he's stuck in a nightmare, so it just needs to remove himself from a situation that is a nightmare in his life, and he just needs to start moving forward in a new direction. In the area of what's on your mind, or the area of your thoughts, you have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles can represent a big opportunity or something that has a lot of potential, and I kind of feel that for you here, Virgo. I feel like you could be doing something, or you're about to do something. It looks like just an opportunity to me, like you're being presented with an opportunity, and I feel like there is a ton of potential in the opportunity that you could be attracting into your life. So, for those of you that want an opportunity or hoping for a new opportunity, here you go. I feel like there's a big new opportunity coming in for you, and it's probably something that you already have your eye on, and but again, it's going to be something that requires work. With the Ace of Pentacles, we have to plant the seed, and then we have to nurture that seed, and when it turns into a seedling, so that it can grow. So I would make sure that you're taking advantage of any opportunities. You also have the Five of Cups in the area of your foundation. The Five of Cups can represent regrets or sadness, and we do kind of see that here. I mean, you have the Nine of Swords, which can also represent sadness, and so he is grieving the loss of wine. The story of this card is that he's lost his taste for wine. He no longer enjoys it anymore, but if he were to turn around, he would see these two cups, and he would get this bridge in the castle. So again, I think that for a lot of you, that the solution here to the Five of Cups is to be grateful for what you do have, and then you turn around and you see something much better that you actually do want. And I always say that, the fives in the tarot have very easy solutions, and the solution to the Five of Cups is gratitude. But again, I think some of you could be grieving the loss of something you don't even enjoy any longer. And the other interesting thing is that in the past position, we have the Three of Cups. So it's like you have the Three Cups here, but, it's in the past. And if you were to turn around and see these Two Cups, it's like you're going to get something much, much better. In the area of the past, you have this Chicken card. It says fertility, renewal, communication. You have this Mantis Shrimp. It says combat, vision, and vibrational sensitivity. So I think that you are very tapped in at this time. Again, you have that Ace of Pentacles. And I feel like that Ace of Pentacles could be a very fertile opportunity, and you're going to have to pay attention to like the vibrations of the opportunity, no matter what it is. For most of you, I feel it could be business related, and we're going to clarify. We'll see what comes up, but it could also be a connection that's coming in for you. So take it how it resonates. But again, I would pay attention to how the vibes feel about anything, any opportunities that you're receiving. You have the Three of Cups in the past, and so the Three of Cups can represent a community or a group of people. It can also represent a harvest as well. And one thing I will say is that it seems to me like a lot of people could be moving past something that has provided a harvest in their life, and now they're like moving on to a new harvest or moving on to something else that will bring a harvest into their life. So a lot of you could be changing like in work or business, or you could be changing, what brings fulfillment into your life, and you could be finding something new that brings fulfillment into your life. We do have the Five of Swords over here in the area of your closest relationships. So with the Five of Cups, this could say that you've walked away from a relationship, and now you are kind of like looking for a new relationship or a new connection that brings fulfillment into your life. In the area of your very near future, you have this legal card. It says dealing with legal issues or life lessons. It says seek an expert if you are handling legal matters. You also have the stability card. It says you will be stable and very prosperous. Make stability a top priority and commit yourself to consistency. Yes, I think that is the answer right there, is just committing yourself to consistency and committing yourself to stable situations. You even have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, she's bold and assertive. She has to be bold and assertive. She also has to make moves towards the sun. She has a sunflower right here, and the sunflower points towards the sun. So, the story of the Queen of Wands is that she is excited or she feels like she should move in a new direction, and she does because it's pointing towards the sun. The other part of the Queen of Wands is that she doesn't care what anyone thinks. She has this black cat right here. During the times of tarot, black cats were considered very unlucky, but the whole point of the card is that she doesn't care what anyone thinks. Is she has the black cat because she just likes black cats. That's it. And so, again, I think that especially during retrogrades, especially at the end of the year, we have Mars going retrograde as well. And Mars retrograde is a little funny because sometimes I feel Mars retrograde can definitely bring out the people who it's like they need you to act a certain way for them to be okay, but that's on them, right? It's like we can't control other people. So there's a lot of that behavior during Mars retrograde, and even though we're not there yet, doesn't matter. The energy is kind of moving in that direction, and so you might find that people are kind of acting a certain way to you, and it's like they need you to do something so that they can be okay, but they need to make themselves okay. So I think that we're in a time where we just really need to not worry about other people, and like we need to ignore those people that are like, I don't want you to do this because it makes me uncomfortable. It's like, well, I mean, unless you're invading in their life, that's a different thing. But if you're doing something like starting a business and they're uncomfortable with it because you're taking a risk, it's like, well, that's on them, right? Or if you're deciding to walk away from a person because it's not right and they're uncomfortable with it, well, it's like they need to get over it, right? And so I feel like the Queen of Wands is about, really having the guts to, stick up for yourself in the sense that you have a vision or you are being guided in a direction, and, too bad if other people don't like it. So a little bit cutthroat here, Virgo. In the area of the next few months, you have the Six of Swords. So I feel like you are making the right choice, whatever this decision is, because this woman and the child in the boat, they're moving towards calmer shores, right? They're being guided by this guide in the back of the boat, and they're being guided to calmer shores. So exactly like I just said, I feel that no matter what, there might be some choppy waters in the sense that other people don't like the changes you're making, but that's on them, right? And so I feel this is saying keep moving in the direction that you're being guided towards because it is the right direction. In the area of your closest relationships, you have the Five of Swords. There's a couple of things that I'm feeling here with the Five of Swords for you, Virgo. Number one, some of you could have gone through a breakup. I kind of feel like you've already, even though it's showing up like kind of in the more future position of your reading, I feel like this is something that you've already gone through or that you've already been dealing with, and I just feel like you're moving forward. It's just that simple. And for others, there is a theory that this card represents like 3 stages of battle, and that this is the same guy at 3 different stages. So like in the first stage, he lost and he is crying in the background. In the next stage, he's kind of like learned how to walk away from a loss. And in the last stage, he has learned how to gain a win from a loss. So even if you've experienced a loss, we can still get a win. Even sometimes I think people forget that, even if you went through something challenging or difficult in a situation like a relationship, or maybe you lost a job or whatever, there are probably things that you've learned. And that's how you win, is by looking at what you learned right here and kind of moving forward and saying, you know what, that situation sucked, but at least I learned this and I can avoid it in the future. And that's how you win, is you avoid it, whatever the situation is, again in the future, and you make sure that you don't repeat the mistake. I also feel that some of you, people could be telling you that you're making a mistake or that you're taking a risk. I'm sure you've all heard, like, oh, you're going to regret it if you leave me, that type of thing. And I feel like some of you could be dealing with that, but I don't think you're going to regret it. I think that you are going to be happy that you left it. Again, so if you're really going to regret it, someone doesn't have to tell you that you're going to regret something, right? It just will happen. So again, I think that the fact that a person could be saying that to you proves that you're not going to regret something. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Seven of Cups. I actually feel pretty good about this. I go back and forth on the Seven of Cups. Sometimes I feel it's good. Sometimes, I feel it's a challenge. But for you, I feel like you are opening up to a lot of like new opportunities and possibilities. I kind of feel like between now in the end of the year that you're going to be exploring a lot of different ideas or plans or goals or wishes. And, I kind of just see you in this exploration mode. And, I would be playful. I think that Mercury retrograde is a great time to, not take things too seriously and to be more playful. You literally have these polka dots on the Seven of Swords. And polka dots in the tarot represent taking things too seriously and needing to be more playful. So I think that being more playful at this time and taking a playful, lighthearted approach to new ideas and just testing things out would be a really good idea. You have 2 sevens at the end here. 2 sevens together to me represents internal fears that don't exist. So it would be a great time for you to let go of your fears. The Seven of Swords, everybody reads it as lying, cheating, stealing, but really it's a card of tactics. He is stealing these swords from an army in the background. And so the Seven of Swords kind of says that, there are better ways to do pretty much everything that you're doing. I just did an interview a couple weeks ago with someone, and they said, what card keeps coming up in readings? And I said, Seven of Swords. It comes up for everyone. And I really feel it's because we're in a time where the universe wants us to be more efficient. And, if we're not efficient, if we're not doing things in the most tactical, the best way possible, then we're probably going to be experiencing slow energy. And so I feel that if there are things that are slow, like anything, things that you're working on, things that you're trying to accomplish or do, I would just do some research. You might find a better way to do pretty much anything. With the Eight of Cups and the Nine of Swords, you have the Five of Pentacles. I kind of feel like a situation made you feel like Five of Pentacles, Five of Cups, right? And I feel like this is a past situation. And, I just see you moving away from this. I don't feel like this part of the reading is good or bad. I feel that you had a negative, relationship experience in the recent past, or, you had a situation where you felt out of the cold. And I feel like this taught you a lesson. 555. 3 fives is a big change that's coming in for you. And the solution to the Five of Pentacles is to focus on your strengths, not on your weaknesses. And so I feel like you have learned that you have to kind of double down on your strengths. I forgot to cover these. I didn't even cover these 2 oracle cards for your last row. You have the Sandpiper Spirit. It says be playful on it. So definitely playful energy coming up here. And you have this Groundhog Spirit. It says time to let go. So I think you are, I probably skipped them because it was just repeating what the reading said, which is that it's time to let go of something and to be more playful. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Moon card. Nobody knows what the future holds. So, the Ace of Pentacles, you could be being presented with an opportunity, but you're also kind of you can't see the future of the opportunity. You're not sure how things are going to go. The Moon is part of the Fool's journey. And I always say that with the Moon card, it's sometimes we just have to go down that path down the middle of the card, and we just have to see what happens. The Moon comes up, the Moon goes down, the Sun comes up. So the Moon represents a temporary period of time. So I feel for a lot of you, it's you are stepping off on this new journey, this new path, and you're going to have to be flexible with that flexibility card, and you're also going to need to stay on the path. These two pillars that show up right here, those two pillars are a warning to the Fool. They basically say, if you're working in a direction, do not get distracted. They represent an external distraction. So it's like you're clearly working towards an Ace of Pentacles in your life, and it could be anything, like Ace of Pentacles could even be a relationship, but it could be a business or an idea that you have. Those two pillars could represent external distractions, and you just need to keep working in a direction. With the Five of Cups, you have the Queen of Swords. Again, this is why I don't feel too bad about this, is because at least you are probably seeing things clearly now about like why something had to happen the way that it had to happen. The Queen of Swords has clarity for the first time. There are only clouds halfway up her body. So if there are some regrets, or if something did go not according to plan, then I think you're seeing why it had to happen. And like I said over here, the Five of Swords was really giving me these vibes that you have learned the lesson, which is that's all you need. You have the other five here. You have the Five of Wands with that Three of Cups. So the Five of Wands can represent conflict or competition. This could have been you being in a third party, or there could have been competition for attention or something like that. And again, the Five of Wands also represents learning. These people are using sticks to fight. They're not using swords. So it kind of says that they are learning how to fight, or they are learning how to battle in their life. And I feel for a lot of you that this is saying that you've learned a lot with the fives. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Death card. Really good that the Death card comes up after the Moon, because the two pillars show up from the Moon at the back of the Death card, and the Sun is coming up between those two pillars. So clearly a major change because of all the fives. And also I think you're entering into a time of clarity where you can actually see like where you're going. You're not in darkness. With the Moon, with a full moon, if you're outside on a full moon, it's like you can see things around you, but the moon is so bright on a full moon that it's casting shadows. So the moon card can represent illusions, but it's like when the sun comes up, you can finally see things clearly. And I feel like you making a change is going to be the thing that brings clarity into your life. Yeah, with the Six of Swords, yes, are you kidding? You have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is basically saying that what I just said, you moving on from something that has created a lot of confusion in your life is going to be the thing that brings in clarity. And I am convinced that this is true for life. Like, we usually get the clarity after we move past a situation. And so, that is like super interesting. And, again, that's definitely something I would pay attention to here. With the Five of Swords, you have the Page of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you're ready for a new adventure. Page of Wands also moves towards his enthusiasm. He's just excited for a new direction, and he moves in that direction. All he needs is the excitement. All he needs is kind of like that inner guidance feeling that he is, he wants to start something new. So I feel like you are clearly moving in new directions. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Six of Cups. Yeah, Six of Cups kind of represents a turnaround. Sometimes I feel that the Six of Cups is just a gift from the universe, and usually the gift we receive from the Six of Cups is obstacles being removed from our journey or from our path, and really that's what I feel like this is talking about. I'm not really getting anything traditional about the Six of Cups here, so while this could be like a new soulmate coming in for you, I really feel it's talking about like a turnaround or you overcoming an obstacle. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Five of Swords again. Yes, I think that you need to also walk away from, tricky situations or things that you don't feel are right. And, what I would say here is that, again, I don't think you're going to get the clarity until you leave. It's like, I'll expose myself a little bit here, right? It's like, years ago I was dating a person, and I just always felt like things were off, but I never like really got the clarity. And then eventually, of course, I left. And it's like after I left, one of this person's friends told me what was really going on behind the scenes, and I'm glad I left, right? And so, but I didn't get the clarity until after I made the decision to say no more, right? And so that's what I feel like is going on here, is that you need to like say no more of this. I'm not going to put up with this. I'm going to draw the line in the sand, right, and end a situation. And that's where the Ace of Pentacles comes in. You even have the Secrets card. Again, I didn't learn about the secrets until after the situation. So I feel for a lot of you, there could be a secretive, or there could be secrets in a situation, and like ending it officially will be the thing that brings it to an end. So, there you go. You have this affair card. This is actually a positive affair. This is not like a cheating affair. This would just represent like love coming into your life. So like I said, I definitely feel there could be new love coming in for you, especially like in the future if you are releasing something. You have this drama card. I would avoid drama at all costs. That 3 cups, 5 wands in your past, that could be a situation that caused a lot of drama or brought a lot of drama into your life. And of course, like I said, I would avoid the drama, plain and simple. Next, you have this fortune card. Yeah, I feel like there are great fortunes coming in for you if you move towards the Ace of Pentacles, which is like a new opportunity or a new direction that you could be experiencing in your life. And what did this card say again? Yeah, it said vibrational sensitivity and fertility were these 2 cards over here. So I feel like if you pay attention to your vibes, your feelings, and again, you have that Treasure Island card, which the Treasure Island card is as above, so below. But we have to match a vibe to be as above, so below, right? We have to match what we want. And I feel like that's where the fortunes will come in for you. And finally, you have this Rebellion card. Yes, I told you, Queen of Wands. I feel like people are going to maybe not like the direction you're moving in, and your job is not to listen to it anyway, right? Because it's your life. So I think this whole entire reading is saying, it's your life, Virgo. You have to move in the direction you want to move in. But pretty interesting. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.